We're live again. And this is Georgios. It's not me. Haha, role reversal. What a surprise. You would expect me to be that person, but I would never be you.
But you're not.
Because no one is like you. And also, check this out. Come over, Stefcho. I'm gonna summon the...
Do you have somebody here as well?
I don't know.
Yeah? I
heard a voice.
I thought usually the way that it's done is that somebody joins us over Skype. Maybe that's not the case today.
Maybe that's not the case today.
Mysterious.
But cheers, because listen, cheers to 2019.
No, maybe invisible hand. Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, I don't know where this came from. Georgios, listen, man. You're a very interesting guy, but for our guests who may pretend they don't know you, or they just want to hear it all over again about your life because they love you so much, who are you in a sentence?
In a sentence, I'm Georgios. No, but in a second sentence, I would say I'm a failure in disguise.
You disguise as a success, or?
Well, I wouldn't classify it as success. I would classify it as sustainable. You know, it's like you're still doing okay, but in reality, it doesn't really matter because what matters in this life is how people see you usually. So
right.
But I would say that I'm a failure in disguise.
Right.
And on that happy note,
I very much doubt that. But anyway, Georgios, we work together, and I know that you're a very professional guy. You're very reliable. You're very interesting. And outside of the things that are job related, you also are very interesting. For example, let's talk about how you ended up having a show on national TV in Greece, because you are a Greek person. That's correct.
I'm Greek, by the way. Yeah. From the northern part.
In case you haven't noticed, okay, from the northern part,
where it actually gets cold.
Which is the greasiest of Greece. Greasiest? Is greasy?
Greasiest.
Is greasy the adjective from Greece?
Yeah, I would say so, but it's not like bacon, you know? It's like the equivalent of being, I don't know, like not bored, but inactive, you know? So bacon is tasty.
Yes.
And it gets greasy. But a person is inactive, so he's being greasy.
So it has nothing to do with the economy and the recent failures.
Well, a result of that is the economy for sure. You know, it has an impact.
But listen, the great thing about Greece is that you've been great all until now. So all throughout human history, you've created some of the greatest stuff. You've come up with philosophy, with literature, with pedophilia, with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of them.
And everything.
Anal as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget anal.
Let's not forget that. And in the whole of that situation, you decided to leave your mark in the history of Greece, of modern Greece, by having a show on TV. So how did that happen? What was that show about?
Actually, it's a very funny story because it wasn't planned. It was completely by accident. And the thing is that at that day,
You didn't use protection, my guess is.
Yeah. I mean, back now and from now, like if I look back in time, maybe I should have used some sort of protection just to make sure that the ultimate cringe and my feelings of shyness would never surface on a national TV level.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't really smart. But
it wasn't your fault. It was there was a lot of people involved that had different ideas.
Yeah, but in the end, it was my decision to do it, right?
Yeah.
And
so now as you're coming clean. Now this thing you're gonna see on the internet surfacing as national TV star Georgios finally coming clean about who caused the whole cringiness.
Yeah, I mean,
breaking it down.
I mean, if you put in brackets like exposed, I would really love that. I mean, it will have good reactions as well.
So what is the core of the cringe?
Yeah.
In your involvement, there's a lot of people on a TV show. There's producers, there's writers, there's the talent like you, and there's also the star power like you, the charisma, all of that, because you were a host, one of the hosts of the show, right?
Yeah, I was a co-host. Yeah.
But where does the cringe originate from?
Okay, I think in order to end up in how the cringe, what is the origin of the cringe, I think we have to take it back a step and see how it all began.
Yeah.
Because
I was Play-Doh, my guess is.
Huh?
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. No, actually, I wasn't never a Play-Doh guy. I was more like a Lego style.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was introvert and I just passed in my university, and I wasn't really feeling like continuing there. I mean, I didn't really like it, even though I ended up finishing it.
Right.
But back then I was just going over the bank to pay some bills, cash money. And there was some guys that came out from the elevator while I was waiting for the elevator to go to the bank.
Yeah.
And this guy looks at me. He's like, "So you're here for the show, right? For the audition?" And I didn't really care at that point in time. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'm here for the audition." So we ended up going to the building across the bank.
And was there like a big black couch, leather couch in that audition? Was there one person with a camera with a blurred out face? Did you see the face behind the blur?
Back then again, the series that you're referring to wasn't really developed because we're talking about 2007.
All right, okay, 2007.
Yeah, so it was more like, that
was before POV. That was before all that.
It was more like on the North America side. Yeah. Like that was.
It was just regular. It was maybe even hairy back then, or not anymore.
Well, they had a site that was more, focusing on natural, let's say, body style.
That's so fucking long ago.
But they were Australians.
That's
Australians.
When we still used to download porn, not stream it, not
Well, man, I used to save pictures for porn, not download something. Like you're going above and beyond.
Look at this, man. Earphone View had this thing where it plays an automatic slideshow,
exactly.
And I set it up to like 2 seconds in between. Yeah, man.
It's do you remember these small books that you had that you used to go over the pages and they had an animation going on? Like, it's the same thing,
man. But wasn't it? I think that wasn't pornography actually invented in Greece too, with the first like images on walls and like pornographic images of women and some brothels on the walls of the brothels. I think there was something like this, but I'm not sure if it was Greek.
Well, I will say that it has been an embedded feature in human history to represent something on a means different than somebody's memory, right. Just to have it over the course of time, like shown over the course of time, and we can see this development existing in ancient Egypt as well, not just Greece.
Right.
So I would say that what you see is what perhaps was saved until now, or what was discovered until now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say necessarily that Greeks, they were like, okay, we do all these things, but what about some, loosey-goosey time, Maybe let me engrave something different just to spice things up a little bit.
Man, I was wondering, this was what we were talking about with Stefcho recently about all those Neolithic fat women. Imagine if this was like a porn thing, like an early 3D porn, like you have a fat woman, you're like, fucking my little fat woman rock.
Yeah, I mean...
And on this beautiful note, let's make a small cringy moment where I suddenly disappear and someone else appears. Let's see what happens.
Boom! Someone else appeared.
Boom!
So, hello.
Yeah, that's... okay, let the cringe begin then. So, hi, I'm Georgios.
I'm Stefan.
Nice meeting you, Stefan.
So, I really like the failure in disguise thing. I think it should have been the podcast name.
That should be the podcast name.
Yeah.
No, that will be at least the episode name. We can at least do this.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to call the board of directors to decide about that.
Yeah, guys, I mean, keep me out of it though, because I don't really want to cause any trouble here. But I'm getting the copyrights for that, right?
Sure, you can get some percentage of the earnings.
What earnings? I mean, I'm sure this video is going to get demonetized.
You can get like 1% of the zero. Anyway, so the thing is...
Still something. It's a win.
Something about you really intrigued me because I was thinking about...
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm at that stage of life when I'm thinking about, changing my work life. So I thought I could open a bar, which was a really original idea.
Yeah.
So I wanted to convince me out of it because
you should definitely not do it.
Yeah, but why?
Why? Because, man, listen, working night and working day are two completely different things, obviously, besides the time difference, right? I mean, besides Captain Obvious differences. The fact is that you get to work with a lot of people, and the people that you work with are temporary at all times. So you will never get the chance, unless it's a bar that actually pays a lot, or they are dealing with some type of music that you like.
So basically you opened the bar.
Well, not me. I just joined the bar that the guys were having. But it was back then when.
So you were the problem. You were the temporary.
Yeah, I was the temp. I was the guy. Unfortunately. But they were actually hitting it off. They were doing some very interesting stuff. And the thing with them is that initially it started as a metal bar, and we got
Actually,
0 people.
That's exactly what I wanted. 0 people here in Malta or
no, Greece. In the north. But
because that's my problem, because I can't seem to find a bar at my age now, at my mindset, that I go to and I think, my God, this music is amazing. It happens really rarely, and it's usually some themed night. It's not something that happens regularly.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just metal, because I listen to a lot of rock music, but it's not the mainstream one.
So what type of music is it? Like, let's get a little bit more specific.
It's a lot of things, many things. It's just not because in Bulgaria what you get, that's another topic for music.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste all the topics in one sentence, but the thing is, we get usually in Bulgaria, the rock metal bars, it's always Rage Against the Machine, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Godsmack.
Yeah.
And that's every day for the last 10 years.
A little bit of Sabaton as well, just to pump the blood up a little bit.
Sabaton is so, we love it.
They have a song for Greece, so you can understand how people are when it comes to Sabaton in Greece.
They come every year almost.
And Manowar as well. Like everybody's fucking crazy about Manowar.
Manowar.
Blind Guardian.
Oh, you know what happened to Manowar now? Their guitarist is in jail. Really? Yeah, but they found some child porn on his computer or something.
Spicy.
This one with the long blonde hair.
You just described all Manowar.
So yeah.
But he plays the guitar, so he definitely differentiates.
I don't think it's that important. He doesn't. He just plays guitar.
Guitars can always be replaced. They play
unless
back anyway.
They write the songs. But so this bar you went, what were you doing there?
So it
was a metal bar.
They started off as a metal bar, and let's be honest, like nobody was stepping in, because the place
stepping
was.
You mean customers?
Yeah, customers from customer perspective, because the place looked a little bit shady and it was just a little bit unattended as well. But this is the definition of a metal bar, if you ask me. But what happened is at some point these guys decided, how about we spice things up a little bit on Friday, and they started doing like this disco party on Fridays. Right? So and there was this explosion of people coming in just because of that. But you wouldn't see posh people going to a disco party. You would see metalheads going to a disco party just so they can do their set, they can dance around, they can headbang on ABBA.
Parties in Bulgaria.
So it started as of very questionable party style, because you didn't really know how to behave, but it actually paid out because people were coming in, they were buying things, and eventually the word spread out that pretty much the only place in that area that played disco or played like non-popular mainstream music was our bar. So we ended up within less than a year having full house before 2 a.m. Like we were opening up at 12, and then by 2 we were full. Like we couldn't accept more people.
Well, sounds great so far. Except that.
Yeah, it all depends how you spin it, right? And then we bought the top floor as well, because there was a vacant floor on top. So we started having on the bottom floor during Fridays we had like this disco party, and on the top floor we had like still metal themed events. And then on Saturday, I remember, we had like a live downstairs on the live stage, and upstairs we had Darkotech, which was like
Darkotech?
Yeah, it was like Combi Christ, if you know.
Nice. Yeah, of course.
Like industrial metal, pretty much. And that my friend, that was a very interesting night. Because you had like people, with glow in the light dreadlocks and like these huge boots, like larger than my head, pretty much, the heel. So it was an interesting period. And then they transformed, and this is the part that I actually love about this, is that eventually they shifted away from this randomness, and they started being more constructive and more innovative when it comes to the bands that they bring live. So they shifted towards the more progressive stoner side of rock. So they started bringing all this talent from Greece, because I don't know if
is this bar still.
Oh yeah.
I have to go there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Are you kidding me? Like.
So, where was the part where I shouldn't try?
The part where you shouldn't try is that this is based on luck and on persistence. Meaning that if you have enough money to ensure that you will be going on the minus side for the first at least couple of years of operation, and the fact that maybe it won't work out, you should always think about that, rather than saying, okay, like all these guys are making it happen, I can make it happen as well. But what you don't see is what happens in the background, meaning that person might have like 4 different bars, or might have connections, or in Malta may have ties to the mafia, for example. So they can find one way or another. Please don't kill me, by the way, for saying that. I can take it back, please. But you know, there are always ways to make it work.
Well, this doesn't sound very convincing to me, at least.
I mean, you can try it if you're okay with staying up all day and all night, because you know,
That's
owning a
what
bar
I do anyway.
is very stressful. And you need to socialize a lot as well. Like, you need to talk to people and actually, you know, have this
No,
charisma.
I'll find
in a
someone
way.
else to do this.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I'll just be there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. It's just would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad for sure. I mean, there are worse vacancies out there.
I think
there are
it's
worse jobs.
because I hate bars. Maybe I hate bars because there's not a good bar in Sofia. But
So, what type of entertainment would you find in Sofia? Entertainment?
now I like going to swing parties. That's
Swing parties?
yeah.
Like swinger parties or swing music
No,
swing?
I don't think we have swinger parties.
Oh, I'm sure you have, but you just don't know them. Trust me.
we have. We just don't invite you, Stefcho.
Yeah, every country has swinger parties.
So no, it's the dancing
Mm-hmm.
because it's this whole that you said. Yeah, you said outside the camera. This whole you know where people are in bars, they kind of aggressive or passive aggressive. They have this whole. You know, I mean, like talk about the like in bars. Basically, what you have is some guys trying to get with some girls,
Mm-hmm.
and it's established, and that's it. And
Yeah, there's a
it
game.
has rules and games. Yeah, but in swing, it's just about dancing. So,
Yeah.
you know,
But do you actually believe that? I mean, not in swing as a dance, but in all types of dances. Do you think that there is a point or a threshold, let's say, from which and below dancing doesn't mean hitting on somebody? Because to be honest, like maybe it's just me, but I cannot see a dance as a pure dance, as an act of happiness. You know, I always see it as a game, as a flirt game.
that's
as well.
salsa. But swing, it's whatever you make out of it. Yeah, it can be that also.
Mhm.
But it's not necessary. There are a lot of people who actually they are in relationships, like serious ones, but they still go,
Yeah.
and it's fine.
But they're not in happy relationships.
Well, I can't talk about that because you can't know until you know. Like,
Maybe there should be like a sign-up form when you go to the party. You know, are you in a relationship? Yes. Are you happy?
no,
with your
but in
relationship?
salsa they have this. It's like jungle there. It's
like
they
jungle.
all act intimidating, and when you go dance with the girl, especially if she is with her. I mean, that's what I've heard from other people. Actually, a lot of people switch from salsa to swing because of this.
Okay.
Like if someone goes and invites your girlfriend for dance, it's like, oh my god, this guy should die now, because it's I mean, there's this game there. But in swing, it's more free, like,
Innocent.
I mean,
in a way.
it's more like it should be. There's the dance, and everything else is outside of it. Whatever happens, it can be whatever. It's not fixed on something.
But correct me if I'm wrong. But in swing, there is always some distance between the two.
Yeah.
parts,
That's the
right?
other part. It's not that. It's not that. Not personal, but it's not that
Intimate.
sexual.
Yeah.
It's, intimate. Yeah.
Intimate, yeah.
I mean, it can be if you make it that way, but by definition, it's not.
I actually had recently had a discussion with a friend of mine, and she was claiming, let's say that you know, dancing, let's say daggering, if you know what daggering is. It's like
It's like dagger.
yeah, well, it's like it imitates the movement of a dagger to somebody's body, but with somebody else's body, you know. So you pretty much imitate sex, but while dancing. You know, it's like how do you call this?
I mean, the movement.
Yeah, but I forget the name because it's like very famous. It's not reggaeton. It's something different. I will
That's all I know,
remember.
Zumba and reggaeton.
Huh? Zumba? No, it's not Zumba.
Bachata.
Bachata, but fuck, maybe it's not bachata.
But yeah, whatever. In swing,
I will remember.
that version of this.
I will
is-
remember at some point.
That version, the most sexual version, is blues, which is basically slow swing.
Blues
and
is
it's
amazing, though, yeah.
different. Yeah. This is the other thing because salsa, whatever the other implications are, the music, I think, is horrible. It makes me
Fair statement.
it makes me angry for some reason. Not angry, but you know, I really hate it. I can't listen to it at all.
Okay.
So whatever else is there, I don't want any part of it.
But
But
what is
swing,
it?
I really like the music. It's basically jazz, but simpler and more repetitive. That's about any dance music that you dance. It's
Yeah.
repetitive. It's predictable because you know you have to predict what happens next, so you can do something.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's because jazz is usually
jazz
whatever.
is freestyle anyway in most cases.
Yeah, but this swing is the predictable jazz. Let's say, and jazz is good, so swing is good.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
sounds like nice thing to dance, to be honest.
This guy seems to be bored or something. But yeah, you wanna switch?
Bogi?
I don't know. We should have a timer, right, or no?
No, I mean look at the video. It's a short time.
So it's 10 minutes.
7 minutes.
Okay.
So you've been longer.
Oh wow, feeling the pressure.
You liked each other's company, and I'm back, guys. I know no one missed me because no one was watching me. They were all eyes on Georgios, our guest, and then Stefcho. And we're back.
You were saying?
I was saying I want to get back at one very important topic.
Let's go back.
And this is
you have to go back, Bogi.
You were discussing dancing. And I was like, what about the evolutionary meaning of dancing? It must be sexual. It always is. Doesn't matter if it's swing or anything else. It always comes down to this reenactment of a ritual of pairing, of mating. Why are we, for example...
It's like a mating call.
Now it's like, yeah, you're like, whatever. Sexuality doesn't matter, whatever you identify with. But in dancing still, doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, you're dancing always with a woman. A man with a woman. No. I mean, like in competition levels and officially, like it's weird otherwise. Like even gay people dance with the opposite sex.
You think so?
Yeah, especially in a thing in like swing where it could be more acrobatic. So you need to lift up. You need the energy, the power of a man to lift a woman, and always the leading partner is the man who initiates all these acrobatic movements and stuff. Like what is it?
Cavaliero.
What was the fastest form of Lindy Hop or no? Boogie Woogie? Which one is the most acrobatic? Boogie Woogie, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So in those, like, you can't imagine, because I did that too. You don't know that. Okay. Well, here's the real story.
Bogi did Boogie Woogie.
I was dating this girl at the time, and she wanted to dance a lot. And she was like, let's go dancing. But her way of saying it wasn't like, oh, I really want to dance. So I was thinking about dancing, and I would say, yeah, sure, great. Her way of saying it was, oh, I really want to dance. If you don't fucking dance with me, I hate you, son of a fucking cock. Okay, something like this. So basically, I was forced into it. I didn't like the idea. I didn't want it. But we went to dance together because I guess she didn't want to be alone. And I was sure, no problem.
And so, I guess you didn't have any other choice.
Yeah, I didn't have any other choice. And it was 6 months of this fucking hell for me. And I was just like talking to Stefcho about it. I'm like, man, listen, it all sucks, but there are at least some hot chicks. And this I was like, go there, man. And so he went, and he stayed ever since. How long has it been? More than a year or 2 years?
1 year.
Yeah, so I got him started.
You are the reason why he started dancing.
My mistake got him started, just like your mistake got you on TV. But we didn't even talk about what was the show about.
Yeah. So
what was the name of the show, by the way?
So Double Click.
Double Click. Okay, but like this or translated to Greek?
No, it was actually Double Click.
Double Click. Oh wow.
Yeah, because Greeks know English.
Really? Well.
Contrary to what many people believe. But so we went there to the audition, right? And back then I was like very, very chill guy. So I was just sitting there like longish greasy hair, like chewing a gum and everything. So they make me sit at the studio.
So just like it's now the hair, but not
pretty
longish.
much. Yeah, pretty much.
Except
like
the
this.
longish part. Okay.
Yeah. I no chewing gum.
But why did you go to audition? Why? At this point, you were in university, 2007.
Yeah.
Was this your dream? You're like, I want to get on TV. I want to have my own show.
No, and up until that moment, I never even entertained the idea of being on TV.
But you knew what we were auditioning for, right? Or no? No?
Because they just asked, and I said, because my let's say...
What was the announcement? Like, we were looking for what?
No, there was not... That's what I'm saying. Like, it was completely accidental, the fact that I met these guys. Because I was waiting for the elevator to come down. And they just asked me if I'm there for the audition. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm here for the audition. But
that's like a really classical story. Like, there's a few actors, I think, that they said something like this. Like, I took my girlfriend to an audition and I got the job and she didn't. Like, there were a couple of guys, I forgot who, but some famous people.
Georgios.
And Georgios is one of them. Okay, so you get on this show. At which point do you realize what it is about? Are you involved in the creation of the idea?
Yeah, the thing is that the director, the director of the channel, not the director of the show, but the actual guy who is in control of the channel, comes down to the studio and starts asking me questions. But I was completely unaware of who this guy is, so I was talking to him like he's nobody, So I was like very laid back. Yeah, man. He was asking me, do you know white hacking? And I'm like, dude, come on.
Let me show you
some hacking.
Like,
seriously.
I can hack your mama. I can hack your grandma.
Just give me a second, man. I'm going to take my flip phone here. I'm just going to hack into everything you have.
This is 2007. This is old school hacking. It's like, baby. Give me a cable. I'm going to hack anything.
Yeah, just give me an Amiga, baby. I will make this happen.
Give me a button and some electricity. I can figure it out like fucking MacGyver. All right, so
give me a modem.
Yeah. So you talked to the director already?
Yeah. So he told me.
Your foot in the door.
So he told me that pretty much. Listen, like we want to have a show. It's about technology, and we need a person like you. And at that point, I was a little bit triggered. I mean, me.
And also imagine just like. The lengths they went into searching for talent. Literally, the guy opened his door and the building went out. We're looking for someone just like you.
you can say that desperation was definitely describing.
Were they on a
story.
tight schedule? Like they had to go live very soon, or what?
Not really, actually, because I went there late June and they wanted. Oh, sorry,
it's for the autumn.
Late June, and they wanted somebody to begin on July, so they pilot the show for like a couple of months and then they start on regular season.
Yeah.
So
was it in front of a live audience?
No, thankfully not.
Oh man, it would be so cool. It's always better in front of people.
You wouldn't know, trust me. But the thing is that he told me that they want to have a show based on technology, and it was going to be live.
How long was it and how often? Like
it was on a daily basis for 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome, that was brutal, man. That was freaking brutal. Yeah, PG.
And so at the time you were just in university and doing this, like those two things?
The thing is that he told me the concept, and I didn't really agree to the concept because the concept would be that there would be initially 4 people. We ended up being 3, but we would be 4 people, and each of us would have a role. So there would be the girl who is very pretty but completely oblivious of technology. So, and please bear with me. It was 2007. Political correctness wasn't the thing back then. Like everybody was speaking their mind, as brutal and offensive as it may have been now. Like if the same conversation happened now, I think you would be like, we're looking for a multicultural role with, people.
Do you think so? Like,
yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, in Bulgaria, there's this old saying in national TV, because I was, like, at some level involved also in trying to get my show on TV and then ultimately quitting on that because of what I discovered was the environment, the media environment in Bulgaria. But the national TV, there's this saying that you only get a new job there when someone dies. Because when they get the job, man, it's not like there's so many channels in Bulgaria. They just cringe on it and they just
don't let go.
Yeah, and so what you're saying is now they're updated, but imagine it's the same old people that were involved in your show and you're like 10 shows before you, and they might still be there.
Yeah, I mean, there was
unless it's better.
There was a very famous guy in Greece who described pretty much the TV as a group of old guys thinking, what does the youth want? They're like freaking 90 years old and like, what does the youth want? And this is, I think this show is a testament of that, because they wanted to assign roles. They wanted to have one beautiful but stupid girl. They wanted to have a nice hot looking guy who is again oblivious of technology but he's hitting on her. They wanted to have a guy who was like he kind of knew his set but he didn't at the same time, and he was envious of the guy who was hitting on the pretty girl. And then there was the nerd.
Right. And you were the pretty girl.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so everyone was hitting on you. But the point is, you must have learned so much from this experience. That especially the fact that it was every day for an hour, you had to fill that content. That's a crazy important skill, I think, in many jobs. That to be able to like, okay, you're being given a task. You can't like every day prepare a script for a 1 hour show. You got to improvise some part of it or a big part of it. And that skill of problem solving, I think, is very translatable to other professions, no?
Yeah, well, it's a fun fact actually that we were a tech show, but besides me, nobody had an idea about tech, including the people working on the background.
Right.
So we were just going on a meeting like a couple of hours before the show to do the materials, the topics, and everybody were like, "Okay, so what are we talking about?" And his guy, "I know a very interesting subject called gaming. What should it?" So I'm like, "Man, are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you
Does
fucking
it include
serious?
throwing balls at people?"
And I'm like, this we cannot do this, man. It's like, come on, we need to have some decency on the show. So
you guys came up with a lot of games in Greece.
Yeah. So
like the Olympic ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So it just ended up me doing all the topics, preparing all the topics before we actually get on the show. And then during the show, we had a communication between us and the viewers, which was like back.
Yeah,
it was the
texting that
MSN
you told me about.
Messenger,
Wow.
baby.
Yeah.
Let's go, 2007.
Did you make any big mistakes? Like, do you remember any bloopers and stuff? Like, you said something that was like messed up. Like, what?
So
Give us one example.
Well, I will never forget the fact that I was referring to Linux as plural, and it got so many people triggered because I actually went on forums because I googled myself at some point back
so what do you
then.
say? I installed a few Linux on my computer.
Yeah, like a few. Not like if you want to install. I don't know if there is a direct translation because we use the prefix. And,
right.
It defines whether.
So we say they instead of it.
Pretty much. So I read at some point at the forum later, we were like, and there's this and this motherfucker who refers to Linux in a plural than singular. What the fuck? They claim that they're a technology. So I'm like, okay, I create an account. And I'm like, guys, come on, I'm sorry for doing this, but
and you prove them wrong, and then you start texting with that person. They add you up on the forum. You start becoming friends, and then you go, "I create that account using technology, and I'm not even that person, bitch." And you fucking ruin their lives.
But the thing is, like, I was like, guys, come on, don't be so aggressive. Like, give understanding to the fact that it's a live show, and I may fuck up at some point. And we're like, no, listen, man, you're awesome. You didn't mean that.
You create your own account. I thought you created like a fake
my own
account.
account. Man. I went above it because listen, like, if there's something I don't like,
did you write official, like Georgios official channel?
Georgios double clicker.
This is totally me, guys. Call me on this number, and you'll hear my own voice.
I had like a photo like this with a timestamp. It's like ask questions, AMA.
This profile has been verified. Okay, Stefcho, how about you verify some other questions with Georgios, and I'm gonna go play the guitar a little bit.
So I was wondering, were you actually famous in Thessaloniki, like recognizable on the street?
Well, I had only one instance. I had actually a couple, both in my school. In my university actually, when I went, because I completely stopped the university during this period because I just didn't want. Like, the money was so good that I was like,
dropped out basically.
I didn't drop out. I just didn't renew my.
Wait, what? How old were you then?
I was 18. And in Greece, you have the option to not renew your 6-month attendance for 3 consecutive semesters. So I was like, I have time.
So you have applied for, you were enrolled in the university.
I was enrolled in the university. I did my first.
I think I was 19 then. Anyway, whatever. So you basically dropped out in a way.
Yeah, like temporarily dropped out. Yeah, yeah, pretty much, because I really didn't like it. But actually, I had a couple of.
What did you try to study?
No.
What did you try to study? There's a topic. Not topic, but
electrical engineering.
I see.
Yeah,
that's probably.
I mean, it was nice. I mean, I really liked it because I was from a technical high school that was specialized on electrical engineering.
Yeah, but isn't it more like because you're a boy and you have to do the technical stuff, the electric whatever.
Of course, and I had to be the nerd on the show, so I have to study something that accompanies it, justifies it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so you didn't get recognized. You didn't get that.
Yeah. Actually, there was a guy at the bus. I will never forget this guy because I was just sitting there minding my business, and he comes to me. He's like, "Aren't you this guy from the show?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. What the fuck?" And he's like, "So I want to get a PC. Like, can you suggest like a configuration for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we just sat a little bit. We discussed about this.
It's just once.
Yeah, come on, it was just once, but one is better than none in this case. But not that much.
I was wondering if you do this.
I actually, my first.
But some people, even if they recognize you, they will have some decency not to.
Not to talk to you.
Yeah.
But funny story is that my first sexual experience came from a fan of the show, because she was let's call her Mary. Oh no, that's her name. No, I'm kidding. But no, I'm kidding.
Mary too.
Mary too. Fake Mary. And she was talking to me on MSN, like during the show. And at some point she was like,
Georgios, I'm gonna fucking suck that dick.
Oh yeah, baby. Just give it to me. So, well, I guess, I mean, she will never see this, hopefully. So I guess she was that desperate, to start hitting on me on MSN. Yeah, and I was like, bitch, come on, did you know I'm famous now? But anyway, like, come on, what do you want from me?
Which channel do you work for, bitch? Is this director again?
How many ships do you own? But the thing is that we started talking, and then at some point I just bought my ticket and went to Athens because he was from Athens.
Wait,
So
she bought your ticket?
I bought the ticket. No, I went down. Come on. I'm still some sort of like in Greece we call it.
Wait, so like stop harassing me. Okay, I'll buy the ticket.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, what the heck, right? I mean, I never fucked in my life before that, so I would buy a fucking ticket to Africa.
Stop harassing me.
Yeah, but I needed to verify how high can she go. You know, how hard can she go on harassing me?
Okay.
It was fun actually. It was a nice period of my life.
Describe that. Describe that the experience in Athens.
The first time. The first time.
No. That's
Well, not very interesting, but
as always. But
like my life.
yeah. What about? I want to talk about music actually.
Yeah, let's go back to
Maybe
music.
that's the last time I'm on this episode here.
The last
So what music do you like?
Well, I am a very typical being when it comes to music preference.
How did it start? What was the first thing you?
Well, my first album was was actually Star Trek: The Next Generation, the soundtrack. I will never forget that, but it didn't matter. I mean, I listened to that music, but it really went into it. So I would say the first memorable album is Best of the Beast by Maiden. Like it was a collection.
Best of the Beast.
Best of the Beast. Yeah, it was like a collection of all previous hits.
They have Number of the Beast as an album.
Number of the Beast is an album, but then they make like best of compilation.
So you like Iron Maiden? It's first. Like.
Of course, like in Greece. Listen, in Greece there are two bands that you begin. It's either a
Metallica.
Maiden. No, it's either Maiden or Blind Guardian. So people go either to heavy metal or to power metal.
It's kind of in Bulgaria the same, but we have also Metallica and Slayer. That's maybe.
No, Slayer. It comes a little bit later in Greece at least. So
yeah, but they kind of get stuck. They got stuck. So apparently at some point they really cared about music, but then they got stuck there.
Just give up.
Yeah.
But no, with me it was metal definitely at the beginning, and then I went a little
right
bit.
away.
No, right away.
Star Trek and metal.
It was Star Trek and fuck that shit.
Iron Maiden, I wouldn't say it's that much metal. Yeah, maybe it's heavier.
No, come
on. But it's light.
Maiden
it's
is
light.
metal.
Yeah, maybe. But the lighter part, not the. Really
Yeah. But then I went through the phase of Linkin Park, Marilyn Manson, shit like that.
So that was after.
That was. I mean, I'm going by the CDs that I bought because if I go to the music that I actually owned, then things get a little bit more vibrant. So I went a little bit more on the heavier side, a little bit more on the thrash. Like my first concert was Machine Head.
Machine Head.
Yeah, which is like the definition of.
Actually, I don't remember my first.
Of thrash. It's like I actually got beaten up, like really hard.
So you went in the mosh pits.
Yeah, because I didn't know back then. I was stupid. So somebody got me there. So it was like, let's go to the mosh pit. And I left like my mom. Man, it was.
Wait, your mom was there?
No, but the mom saw me afterwards. No, that wasn't a pleasurable experience. I'm telling you this.
Yeah, it depends on the crowd. Some crowds really go really aggressive. It's fuck. I mean, that's not the right way. It shouldn't be that dangerous.
No, I mean, it's still a matter of expressing yourself. I mean, I actually got beaten up in a Flogging Molly concert. And Flogging Molly, they play like Irish folk music.
What the hell?
It's like, are you fucking kidding me
now?
So
you actually listen to a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I love music, man. And I started off as metal, and then I moved on towards everything pretty much. Like 80s as well. For me, it's a favorite point of time. Pop, 80s pop, I mean.
You mean like they now have a resurrection in some way, this synthwave.
Yeah. Synthwave is amazing, man. It's like
I also really like it.
Yeah. Like Carpenter Brut, for example, for me, it's Carpenter like one of my favorites.
Gunship and Perturbator, if you know.
Kavinsky as well, but Kavinsky is like more established now because of the Night Call. I think he had an album.
But it's still they do some modern spin on it. It's not exactly.
Yeah, they want to make it feel retro, but it's not.
Yeah,
retro.
And I think it's in a way better maybe.
Yeah, it's better mastered. Like the mastering is so nice that actually sounds better.
You can hear everything. Like it's like a whole picture of sound.
Yeah, for example, Jean-Michel Salazar, if you know him, he's like the pioneer of electronic music. Yeah, for me, this guy was my idol. I had his VHS tape of.
So you
his
went to
life
electro music, basically.
Yeah, at some point, like before that, I remember I had this VHS of Jean-Michel Salazar, this tape, like ever since I was young, because my brother and my father were very into electronic music. So I had this tape, but I never got into it until later on. Because then I started, actually when I was traveling across Europe, I started listening to Armin van Buuren. Because I don't know, I got infected by, the environment around me. And in 2009 and afterwards, I became seriously invested into trance. in trance music.
Like what was trance? ATB?
Trance is like Cosmic Gate style.
ATB, no?
ATB as well. Yeah. ATB is like 90s style, exactly. Like Ferry Corsten. Like the type of, like a little bit more uplifting type of music, you know? Music that just makes you want to step on the gas and just...
Yeah, I guess it's like that. Because when you're a teenager, you're more angry or gritty, so metal suits you.
Yeah.
I kind of stayed there. Except some deviations like that. Yeah, I also relaxed into it. But metal, I think, has much more to offer if you stay there. It's
If you invest, there are so many things. Now I'm more into stoner.
Any music is like this. When you like live through the surface and the popular stuff, it always gets deep.
I mean,
actually, I'm wondering about this. Is this actually getting better for you, or maybe it's always staying the same? You just need more complicated things, but you always really like it. Because I remember I really like Linkin Park, for example. Now it's just some childish thing. But still, now there is other music that I really like, and I'm not sure if it's better because I just really like it. It's just different.
But in all fairness, I actually had this argument with a very good friend of mine. We were camping, like kind of recently, and he started playing Linkin Park, and I was like, "Come on, man, seriously, like Linkin Park?" And he got offended, and after that, I felt so sorry about...
I would also be offended. Yeah.
No, but yeah, man, because I was like, come on, what the fuck is wrong with me, you know? Like, stop being a pretentious bitch, because Linkin Park, even regardless of when you were listening to them, like in time...
Do you remember? Sorry, I just remember Stefcho. Was your nickname in
my nickname was like Steph_LP. I mean, they were really important to me.
Yeah, but man, I still know all of their songs inside out.
All of them. There is not a single one. I mean, back in the day. Now they have bad songs.
I mean, after Minutes to Midnight, I stopped listening to them because I just didn't like that.
But still, they had like at least one good song.
They had some,
except the last one. But I mean, it's still
even the last one.
But what I think is that's why I'm scared to criticize the music that current kids like, because it's a ladder. They will take them to something else. Like there was this asking Alexandria is what I think of, because at some point I saw a lot of kids in Sofia listening to this, and I thought, okay, I mean it's metal. I don't like it. I think I won't say I think that's that bad, but it's not something I would listen. But still, actually. I wouldn't go to some kid and say stop. There's better, because I know maybe he will get to the better one. Yeah. I imagine me listening to Linkin Park back in the day. The same situation. Like if there's some music for kids, then but there are actually some people who don't grow out of it. They listen to whatever they.
But you know, I don't fully agree with this, because if you take a look at Linkin Park's lyrics,
I think it's better than Asking Alexandria. Yeah.
Man, no, Asking Alexandria is actually fine. But there was a trend a few years ago, like with this kind of not emo, but screamo style. Metalcore, exactly, metalcore. Okay, so they had like bands like The Used and
Bullet from a Valentine,
like Bring Me to the Horizon.
Bring Me to the Horizon,
and something with Sleeping with Sirens, or not something with Sirens.
Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah, like
Motionless in White was another one.
Okay, so they had these bands. You know, it's if you take a look at the lyrics, it's just broken-hearted lyrics. You know, and it's like, how can you compare this with like from the inside, for example, or how can you compare this with Paper Cut? You know, like with One Step Closer. Like there are so many songs, like Rolling Man. There are like so many songs from Linkin Park.
It's still about self-destruction,
but in such a nice developing way. You know, it's not like you broke my heart. I hope you die. It's not like that, man. It's like, come on, not, like seriously.
I guess they were more concentrated on the relationship aspect of things, not the everything.
I think metalcore bands or bands of the new age, so to say, they just found a pattern that works. They have analyzed the music, you know. They know what's trending, so they will just leech on it. Like
that's the problem with mainstream music. It's always about analyzing and figuring out what do people want.
I would accept if you said, like, for example, that Limp Bizkit didn't have anything in particular, but
they did.
Man, I was listening to Limp Bizkit. Holy motherfucker!
I'm listening to them now from time to time.
And for sure, man. Good. Man, they're fucking awesome, but still, the lyrics are like...
Starfish album is...
definitely.
It's really unique. There's no one else who did this sound.
Totally agree. Even now. And then Offspring as well. For me, Offspring, I never been so active on a live like Offspring. Man, I poured my heart out.
I don't know, there's something about the guy's voice that really doesn't...
It doesn't take...
radiate with me.
Yeah?
But I still respect them. I see really a lot of people like them. So.
Yeah, no, I fucking love Offspring. They're like... But they're more towards the youth, you know? Yeah.
But it's still, also Offspring is funny because when I listen to their like last albums, they still try to do the same thing, but they're in their 40s at least, and they act as kids. It's like, come on, man.
Come on, they're being teenagers for the first time in their lifetime.
They did some pop music. I mean, they tried to make some, but they evolved in a way that I don't think it's more to make more money. Not that something they really want. Because they always say, oh, we always want to do this, so that's why we did it.
Yeah.
But you can't just take another element of someone else's song that's popular right now and say that's what I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Come on, that's been popular the last 3 months. What do you mean you won't want to do this?
But well, I think there's always room for both sides, you know, like there's always room for bands that evolve over time, and you know they will get criticized about that. I mean, there were so many bands that changed the sound.
Just the word evolve, always someone will criticize.
Yeah.
But there is good and bad criticism.
But yeah, it's still good, you know, because it means that you're trying. But there are the bands that just stay in the comfort zone, like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna make, you know, like Americana 10 times in a row, and hopefully at some point we will break through, which they did actually. I mean, every album that they make has still something very familiar. Offspring. They still have something familiar. But they still have something familiar to it, but still it sounds kind of new just because they changed the studio that they record the sound in. So it sounds different, but still the same.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, you're pretty right. I think it's like bands that have prolonged, you know, we have stayed over the course of time.
Not always. Like for example, for AC/DC, they're still huge.
Yeah,
they still fill up stadiums and they still sing. I mean, they
same thing,
the same
riff,
same
actually.
Style, the same, yeah.
It's like have you seen actually?
They're still successful. So they're examples of everything.
Well, there is actually a very nice video that highlights exactly what you're saying. Is a guy that comically highlights how every Disturbed song sounds the same.
Disturbed.
And it's fucking amazing because I used to listen to a lot of Disturbed, but when I was in Sweden, like my flatmate, he was like, "Dude, why the fuck are you listening to Disturbed?" And he was like very into rock, but 70s. Like he was listening Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin.
Say the same thing. Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? They're nice." And he told me, man, no, every song sounds the fucking same. Like, how can you like more than one song? And then I see this video, and there's this guy who just, you know, falsely promotes the new album, and it's like with new hits like na 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 and na 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 na, and it's like every song is the same, but you can actually feel it. And then it just hit me. It's like, holy motherfucker! Like, not even every album is the same. Every song is the same.
Well, I mean, they can't be exactly the same.
Yeah, you would think so.
His style is very straightforward. It doesn't change. It doesn't deviate much. I really like vocalists that have at least four types of singing that you can say.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I mean, he did something there.
Like Opeth, for example.
Oh yeah, Opeth is great.
Opeth, man, new levels.
I will never stop listening to them. I always get back to them. Even their new stuff, their old stuff. So you can see that they do really what they want.
Have you ever listened to Dimmu Borgir, for example?
Yeah, it's some commercial black metal as a whole. I mean, everyone knows them. Yeah. The thing is, I don't really like black metal in its pure form, and Dimmu Borgir are the commercial.
I will give you like.
Yeah, I know there is something to it. That's why.
Yeah. I mean,
because I like some elements. Recently, I really liked seeing Emperor live. I saw them twice.
Yeah, and Immortal.
Till listening to the album, it's really raw and the improvement. But live,
man, Emperor and Behemoth as well. Man, these guys are like fucking hitting hard at you, but in a nice way, you know. And the problem with black metal is that back in the day, and that was why it was kind of popular, because it was raw sound, completely unmastered.
I guess maybe like I would like it maybe if I was a teenager in the 90s.
No, but I hate this. Like, I really don't like bad sound, you know? I really like nice music, but if the music is nice, but the sound, like the mastering is shitty, I cannot just listen to it, because I get, you know, you get discouraged.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes, The thing is because that's what they grew up with. That's what's the shit. And they recorded it on.
And no budget.
They exchanged it by some tapes. That was
probably from a village in Norway or something. Yeah. And like, this is the best we can do.
That's what they had. That's what you always have this thing where whatever it was during your childhood. Yeah. You always appreciate it now. It's like, oh my god, back in the day. But you were just a child and everything was great for you then. Yeah. But even now, it can ruin it for me if it's a bad production. Yeah. I mean, for example, do you know Lamb of God?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Man, I love Lamb of God.
Yeah, but their first album, actually, this book I'm reading, I just read the Devin Townsend biography. This book is really nice. I don't know if you know Devin Townsend.
David?
Devin? No. Devin Townsend. Anyway, it's a great guy. He has 30 albums now, or even more. He's metal and he's always doing whatever he wants. Also.
Okay. Is he like a
I
solo
really
artist?
liked his music until now, but now I think I like it more after reading the book. So basically, why I mentioned him, he produced this Ashes as the Palace is Burned.
As the Palace is Burned, yeah.
It was the album name, right?
Yeah.
Maybe second, but the album that broke them, the breakthrough album, blah blah blah. And he produced it. And he says, I believe I helped them a lot, but still he's not happy with the sound. And it's really bad sound records. It sounds terrible. But they did a remaster of it. And now it's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll check it out.
Yeah, several years ago they remastered it and released it again.
No, for me, Wrath was like,
it's so much better.
God, man.
But the thing is, their songs were so nice that whatever you did with them, they would still break through because the songs were really nice.
And then, you know what I really liked? The fact that you know this incident that a fan came on stage and then the lead singer just pushed him and he died.
The Prague accident.
And he died of concussion, shit like that.
I mean, in the video you can see the security pushes him, but they sued him.
They sued him and he went to actual prison for some time, you know?
Yeah, he was.
And he came back with Sturm und Drang, yeah. And this album, man, it was so different in terms of progression, you know? And you can actually feel that.
It was a bit inconsistent, I think.
You think so?
I mean, the songs were very different.
Yeah, with like these theme ups, they have like
clean
different
singing in some songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't have a vibe for me that was like
really?
the album vibe. I really liked some songs, yeah.
It wasn't like Wrath. Like, it wasn't describing a story. It was like individual parts of a story that seems that there are some gaps to it.
And the videos were weird on it. You've seen. Also, there was this from, if you know, Deftones. Chino Moreno, he sang on one song. It was really weird. I don't think he fit well with the style.
I like the Embers. That was.
That's the song with Chino Moreno. Yeah,
Embers is not bad.
Yeah, but the bridge, the Deftones guy comes in, starts singing really different way.
What do you mean, like the only embers remain? Like,
no. I don't remember the lyrics.
I remember which part. Bridge, like the in between, and then he comes. Yeah. It was like a little bit more like, weird. Okay, what the fuck?
Because his voice is really, it's made for the music he makes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to Deftones, but you should. If you
Deftones are really nice.
Yeah.
But I'm always going back to.
But it doesn't go well with this groove metal.
Yeah, groove metal. It's so funny that I actually call it groove metal, but it's definitely not what I have in my mind when I think of groove.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Because
it's like American death metal, you know, something like that. Because they have definitely made their sound.
I think it's the next version of Pantera for me. They started it and Lamb of God took it and
definitely
brought it a level up. Because even now, because with my band we try to play their songs and it's somewhat how did they come up with these things? Like rhythmically and note-wise, it's
definitely.
It's usually something really complicated that once you like learn what part is after what, the hardest part is to get it technically right because it makes so much sense. I don't have to remember anything else. Like just looking at the parts, it's okay. I learn them right away to play it really slow because you can feel what's coming. Kind of, it's really well. I mean, the flow is.
Yep. So, do you listen to Tool, by the way?
Yeah. I know as much as most people that listen to Tool.
But I really think if we are to discuss about music complexity, I think Tool is like...
this video about, what was the song? Lithium? Laterals.
It's hidden in Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, the Fibonacci sequences, it was insane. So many references to it. Like the guys really thought it out.
But the thing is that like if you don't know the backstory behind this song, you think it's so much awesome. But
it's still
in reality, they just figure out that hey, maybe we should play this around. Like many people godify them in the sense that they didn't even plan it out. Like the way that they wrote the lyrics and everything just aligned. And but they are amazing, man. I love Tool and Maynard as a personality. The lead singer, he's just so talented because besides Tool. He leads Perfect Circle and Puscifer.
Also great.
Man, and both of these bands are like completely unique.
Have you heard the last Puscifer album? Oh no, the Perfect Circle. I mean.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. I mean, it wasn't that much of a Perfect Circle as I would expect. It was more like a teenage angst.
But they have 2 albums and both of them are different. So this is the third one that's also different.
Okay, fair enough.
So but
I mean, I liked a couple of the first 2 singles. I really liked.
First singles, the
Doomed was the one, and the other one I don't really recall now.
Something about Jesus in the lyrics at least. But But yeah.
Anyway, but it was pretty okay. But I'm still waiting for the Tool album, to be honest. Like most of us,
everyone is,
for the past decade or so.
It's a meme now.
It is a meme.
It's coming anytime now. Like
yeah, just wait for it. Just wait
for the last 10 years, anytime.
Like Tool are like the Blizzard of music industry. You know, it's coming soon. Trademark.
Yeah. For now, I think Guns N' Roses hold the record for the biggest span between albums.
Guns N' Roses, yeah, with Chinese Democracy, right? Yeah,
I think it was 15 years.
Which actually, in contrast to what most people believe, I actually liked Chinese Democracy.
Yeah, it has some great songs. I really like the best. It was called Best, I think.
Better.
Better. Yeah, better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Sorry, man. Sorry.
Sorry. If you listen to it, it sounds like a classical song, but it's actually new. I mean, now it's 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
it has also
shit,
nice video.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, actually.
But
even more.
But you know, the worst thing about this album is that if Axel managed to publish this album 5 years ago, when his voice was actually good, or 5 years after, because his voice has been tremendously improved since then, like this album would have had so much potential. And for people to listen to it as user illusion, you know?
Because most people don't realize these things. Even now, I don't think his voice is that bad there.
No? Yeah? Oh, come on.
Really?
He sounds like a whiny...
Really?
Yeah, like a whiny person. Like, I'm sorry
you know, he sings now for AC/DC, or was singing at some point. Mm-hmm. Because this Brian Johnson, what's his name? He got sick or something, so Axl Rose came to... He did some live shows, then they started speculating that he will sing on the new AC/DC album, but...
Oh, he did cover for AC/DC, right? At some point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
right, yeah.
But
then he was fucking awesome, man. Like
before I saw YouTube, yeah, it was pretty good.
Like I was amazed.
Yeah.
But then he went to his own live and was like, dude, what the fuck? Like this.
Yeah, they made a reunion with Slash.
Yeah.
The thing is,
definitely not for the money.
They were talking about an AC/DC album with him singing.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be really interesting.
They had some photos of him walking around studios.
Yeah, but I don't think people would perceive it nicely, you know, because AC/DC has a very loyal fan base that stays over time. So
they changed singers already once.
Yeah, but that was before they have their actual breakthrough in terms of live performance.
You think? I'm not sure about the history, but some of their most famous songs are with the old guy.
And there's like Red Hot Chili Peppers without John Frusciante. It's nothing. No.
What do you mean? No,
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm comparing it, like without John Frusciante, the guitarist. Mm-hmm. Like this new guy, they released a new album, but
who?
I don't care about. John Frusciante, the guitarist.
Yeah, but what are you comparing? Yeah, but what are you comparing it from?
But let's be honest.
Axl Rose being replaceable.
But let's be honest, who cares about Red Hot Chili Peppers after Stadium Arcadium? Come on, nobody really cares about Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The next one was also nice.
Was it really though?
Wait, this one with the fly.
The one with Stadium Arcadium had like Venus and Mars, I think, like two sides.
Yeah, and it was double album.
Yeah,
but the next one with the fly, it was also really nice.
You liked it?
Yeah, but it was without John Frusciante.
Yeah. Was it?
Okay, that's why
maybe.
I have put a mental number
the
there.
last one he was with them on
Stadium Arcadium.
He was back, like since the 80s until 92, and then from 92 to 99 they were with Dave Navarro at some point, the guy from the tattoo show.
Dave Navarro.
He had like one record.
He played with 9 Inch Nails too.
There was one good song in it, Aeroplane, the rest was shit.
Should I plug, like, what do you guys think about bands that changed a member? Leave your comment below and like the video. Smash that like button.
Do that.
Dave Navarro,
come on, guys.
He has a really big member. Like he fucks porn stars. For some reason, all of his girlfriends, if you Google this guy, it's just all kinds of porn stars.
What I remember about Dave Navarro is I went to some guitar shop and I saw a really nice guitar. I knew it was his signature because now how it looks like. I want to try this. And the store goes, no,
don't touch that.
Don't touch it. Just if you want, you can buy it, but you don't touch it. Like, okay. Okay. Actually, then I asked how much does it cost. I was like, in Bulgaria, in Sofia.
They never.
And the guy said, well, the price is not fixed because the dollar now is rising, so it's more. Okay, bye.
Seriously, no.
Actually join because
maybe
we are like on this side as two co-hosts, as one person. And Georgios, I don't have.
You wanna merge like the.
Guys,
let's merge like the thing.
The StarCraft.
There's lots of room here. Yeah,
the thing.
Why don't we just switch? Because it's.
Listen, man. Which one was mine? Was this mine? Yeah, I think so.
No, that's what I drank from.
Oh yeah.
Can I have the bottle as well, please?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Shit.
Thank you.
So, I want to come back to one topic that I heard. It was very interesting. It was involved Georgios and going to and buying tickets to go to the Athens, to visit some very beautiful girl, and I was interested. I wanted to learn more.
Up for debate. All
right, cheers to that. Cheers to unnecessary trips that we sometimes regret.
It was actually a necessary trip. I need to get laid at some point in my life, so no regrets about that.
And we want to shout out to what's her name?
Mary.
Mary.
Nice the part where we'll cut it afterwards.
I don't know, man. We were talking about how long we have. 1 hour. Let's do a couple more minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you like about 2018?
I can't hear you. You gotta turn it like this.
Are you happy with 2018 because it's?
Oh yeah, definitely. We should make like a new year.
It was a new year a week and a half ago.
Yeah, we should make a recap, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like all of us actually, because guys, this is your last.
That's right.
I mean,
last time
live, your last live podcast.
Or your last time we were alive.
Yeah, exactly. Last time we were alive. Or now.
Who begins?
I mean, the guest should go first, right? I'm just saying.
No. So let me go first. Okay, so my year.
No, give me that shit. So, no, I'm kidding.
All right, let's play a little more.
Yeah, this is that's why this show is not live.
All right,
but
go ahead.
But wait. So, I would say that it was.
And we're out of time, so now it's my turn.
I don't know.
By the time you come up with
it.
Okay, so my year was very nice. Some very terrible things happened, and some really nice ones too. Thank you. Who's next?
Stefcho?
Yeah, mine was also really nice in some ways and really bad in other ways. But overall, I'm happy with it.
I'm still in the shot.
I have made some plans for the future that will maybe
never happen.
Yes,
or
maybe will happen.
You never know.
What are those plans? Let's discuss them so we know if they happen or not.
No, that's not how you do it.
That's how you do it. Why don't you tell us about your plans? This show is built around the concept of honesty. You can't have any secrets from us.
And truthness. Which is the same thing eventually.
Yeah, but I can have secrets from the audience. No? From
So tell me, tell me, and this, I'm very close to the microphone. Only tell me.
I don't know, I think it will be nice 2 years from now on. Maybe I'll tell you afterwards if I would.
Does it involve opening a bar, which you asked Georgios about?
Maybe afterwards.
We already know what it is. It involves bar.
I want to try some things that make more sense and that are more me.
What is you?
Me is me.
Oh shit! This is a.
What is you? Now we're at the really important questions.
And it's like, welcome to the deep zone.
I really like music. I want to do.
And also, let's break it down. Not just what is you, but what were you in 2018? What will you be in 2019? What were you so far in your life?
So far, I was programmer. I was just a programmer.
He was a programmer.
So maybe I will stop being a
programmer. But the wrong people fucked with him. They didn't know that he was a programmer, and he had just one fucking purpose.
I was going for the don't stop believing style, but sure,
to find the errors and eliminate them.
Don't stop debugging.
Yeah, that's
so my plan is to
that's
stop
the name of the
debugging.
movie. Yeah. So, what don't you like about programming?
What's the point? Tell me what you use in your phone that actually makes sense. I can tell it's Google Maps, nothing else.
Just about to say.
No, I don't believe in this. It's not.
It is definitely this app that I'm using. That is like a splashy liquid. I showed Georgios that like you run your finger and it looks like this squishy mushy thing. You know they're selling these things to kids like
not
gel.
Sponsored by the way.
Yeah. So this is why I think that I can live without that part of the phone.
But there's something about the social messaging, that gives you the.
Yeah, but how many social apps do you need for messaging? What about SMS? Do you remember that? It was working perfectly.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing with SMS is that it's not as direct,
And it's not as direct. Okay, what about any chat app? Facebook Messenger, for example.
Well, I believe that it's good to have options,
But what's better about the others?
What's better about the others? It's
just
about
you type a message and you send it.
Yeah.
So what more do you want? Yeah, they have stickers. They have moments. Snapchat has a momentary photos or something.
Yeah.
But still, WhatsApp whenever someone makes something, all the rest copies.
Just follow up.
So why would you use 10 more apps?
Because you're just used to using them, because nobody... I mean, I don't know if you noticed actually, but there is this geographical distinguishment between WhatsApp and Viber. Like there are some countries
because
that people use Viber and other
kind of why. Because let's say for like the Arab countries, they really ban these apps because the mobile operators, they want people to use SMS and there's their things. Yeah, and the governments ban them. Yeah, because I work on a chat app and I know about these issues.
He's a programmer. He works on a chat app
that no one needs.
But
he's the hacker man.
Yeah, also it's a chat app that no one needs, Sunday. And still it has 200 million users.
What's the name of the app?
I don't wanna.
Sorry. You already said that nobody wants to use.
They have to pay me first more.
Give us some more hints. How many people?
What's the first letter of the app?
First letter of CEO. First letter of
CEO. I, like an iPhone.
iPhone. Oh shit. It's iChat.
Oh my god.
It's iChat, isn't it?
I don't even know what iChat is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So 2018 for me.
Yeah. Who were you in 2018? Who are you gonna be now?
Who was I? I guess I'm a different person now. I mean, I read 12 Rules of Life, so
Oh.
Yeah. So definitely, I'm a different person now.
So that opens up another hour of discussion. No.
Oh yeah. But 2018, I think the best way to describe it was intense. Mm-hmm. There have been lots of downs and some ups as well, but the velocity at which I was going up and down was so steep that I couldn't even feel, the process.
Velocity, man. It was all these physical terms that I don't understand. Which one was velocity? It's like
the velocity is the
speed,
acceleration.
It's the acceleration. Yeah.
Acceleration.
It's like the magnitude of acceleration, not the acceleration itself.
Fucking because you can intelligent engineers here discussing these things and the fate of the world, and I don't know how do I fit in this picture?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you try a little bit, I'm sure you will fit in.
Some joke as always. That's how you escape.
That's what he said.
This is what he said for a second time here, implying some sort of a psychoanalysis that he wants to perform on me, and why I try to be funny. Tell us your theory. Why do I actually try to be funny, and what's wrong?
That's what you say. I've watched your stand-up once.
No. Do you hear him? What did I say?
No, I've watched all of them, but once you.
True. This is not true. What? Tell us. I'm talking to them. Tell us.
That was your way of being social active. I mean, when you were a small child, of making people like you. No.
Yes. Okay. You win the award, and the award is this glass.
Oh my God! I'm so
with some drink.
Thankful
there
to
you
my
go.
Parents and my...
This was all a test to see if you know me at all as a person. And now, Georgios, what about you?
Oh, but that's humor. Overall.
No, let's play this new segment we've been working on, which is psychoanalyze the person next to you, to your left.
Can I quit now?
I can do that easily.
Except if you're on the very left, then you psychoanalyze the person to your right.
What do you mean? Mary's boyfriend is here with me.
No.
Hello?
Wait, this makes no sense.
Georgios is on the left.
Psychoanalyzed you and you're on the right.
Anyway, okay.
But
whatever.
yeah, he psychoanalyzed you.
Psychoanalyzed me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No.
You
okay,
Nope.
I don't want him to do that.
Nope.
Okay, not to put Georgios on the spot because he's already afraid
just
of you.
say that.
Let's.
You're an awesome guy, and everybody should hire you.
Oh my God.
Let's do this.
Stop
So
it,
it's your turn now.
Okay, I'm psychoanalyzing who?
Him.
Me.
You?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I want to hear some drum roll. Some fucking chips crunch.
ASMR accent. Oh my. Oh yeah.
Did you hear that? I broke that.
Yeah,
fucking.
Give me that.
I broke that cockroach's spine.
Why is it? No, when did you say
Sounds just like that. Right? Like crushing a cockroach.
Oh yeah, the one we saw yesterday.
Do a little bit of
We saw
keys.
the museum yesterday.
Like...
If you're not yet asleep, maybe this will help.
Yeah. No, I don't think this will help actually.
This will be how we got famous.
Yeah.
Now,
ASMR
Georgios,
podcast.
I will analyze you right now. Look deeply into my eyes. You start humming some melody.
Look into my eyes.
So it's dramatic.
Fuck,
Like, just like Hans Zimmer kind of notes. You know how he writes a symphony with one note. Go on. Do that.
He doesn't do that.
Stefcho, the best team player in history.
Of course, man.
Now, Georgios.
Yeah, Bogi. Boguslav.
Here's how I'm going to analyze you. You are a very intelligent person most of the times.
Mm-hmm.
That is because of your intelligence. Also, you possess other skills such as motor activities. You can get up, sit down, walk around the office.
That's true.
Very impressively. You arch your back sometimes to demonstrate a certain way around yourself, like a peacock. letting his just showing, yes. But on a spiritual level, you're like this at the office, walking around. You're very successful in finishing tasks.
Yeah.
Such as if you get up, you go, you sit, then eventually you're going to come back and sit where you originated sitting from. And because of that, I will analyze you as 3 out of the 1 to 7 scale, where 3 is actually more than 6.
3 out of 1 to 7 scale.
How did I hit myself?
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Oh man!
Citra, what is this?
I think it will die.
Maybe I fell somewhere.
Well, no. It starts with sex.
You
You're transmitted with sexually transmitted, and then you get those rashes.
What are you doing when he's asleep, man?
You should write some astrology article. I mean, some astrology horoscopes.
But wait a second.
You really related. It was you all along, right? So
yeah, exactly. So Georgios, what is your reaction to my analysis? Am I correct?
Yes.
100%.
100%, man.
Well, because of my.
Are you a medium or something?
Yes, because of my medium.
The foresight.
Foreskin.
Farseer.
Farseer.
Foreskin.
You said foreskin.
Yeah, man, come on. You're not Jewish, right?
Well, it is involved in magic also.
Foreskin?
Yeah, and some African tribes, they collect foreskin for magic.
So anyway,
they call them magical rings.
Okay.
And
welcome to
2019.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
What will happen for you?
No, wait. I want you to tell me what you were going to say right now.
But wait, bring it here.
We were supposed to end this, right? So let's talk about 2019 and go...
Yeah, 2019, you tell us.
Yeah.
I told you already.
You said nothing. You said, I have plans.
That was my point.
But you gotta say something that means something to people.
Shit. Okay. I will read 20 books. Does it mean something?
That's actually a noble goal.
I read 12 this year, according to... I started 6.
You suck at this.
Yeah, that's why I want to read more.
Yeah, man. Exactly. 20 books are very, very reasonable number.
Yes.
It's a very nice...
I like those gestures of commanding kind of my reciprocation of your actions and your words.
So what are you going to do in 2018?
I want to do
Anal?
a sort of life where meaning dominates, where my dreams meet my perceived illusions of the reality and shatter it.
So in essence, you want the why to overtake the why not.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That was exactly the essence.
Very nice put.
Yeah. And in both cases, you're just sitting and asking and not doing anything. Why or why not, right?
No, but you should always ask yourself.
One of the shittiest fucking quotes I've ever heard.
No, man, but seriously, like every action that you do is defined by the answer to this question, because every time your brain goes into a logical loop that says, why should I do this? And you answer yourself, or your brain answers to you, and you're like, okay, you should do that because of this.
Yeah.
But if you say, okay, I know this is wrong, but why shouldn't I not try this? Then you act not with your brain, but you act with your instinct. So if you want to switch things up a little bit, you should focus more on the why you should do that, so you can actually justify in a reasonable way, rather than just going with your pure emotion. Say, come on, man, I know it's wrong, but why not? Why should I not try it? I have nothing to lose, you know?
Wow. Man,
so it wasn't
just
stupid,
destroyed me with your intelligence. But anyway, so let's since we're in the top subject of intelligent discourse, let's bring it up finally back to PewDiePie.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but seriously, you were in this incident. You were there. We had my opinion expressed, Stefcho's opinion.
There was a heated discussion.
What is your opinion about what happened? Not PewDiePie, but what happened between us and what you observed between the two best friends who are able to inflict so much suffering on one other, not each other. One other, meaning that he inflicted it on me. So what is your opinion?
Well, I think that you guys have a pretty good synergy, and the idea is that when you have a thing like a podcast, you should always have this type of arguments. Otherwise, you will never get famous. Right. You need some sort of drama.
My problem is with the actual arguments about the argument.
Yeah.
If you're okay with arguments in general, it should include all kinds of
I'm
arguments.
okay with argumenting, but not okay with some arguments.
Yeah.
Like and to say some argument is this is shit because it's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. But this is why we argued, because I'm of a different opinion. I'm of the opinion that the freedom of speech means that there are no taboo topics that you're not willing to discuss. And you say, I'm willing to discuss any other topic except this one.
But do we really live in an era of freedom of speech?
No, because I know you have some topics that you don't have much to say except that this is shit for no actual reason. That's why I don't want to discuss it with you.
But what if there is a possibility? Maybe. No, what you're saying is something else. You're saying I'm not willing to communicate with someone who has a different opinion.
No, because
on this
you take
subject.
them personal in some weird way it's not arguable.
If I knew, for example, that you believe in something like you're vegan, should I discriminate you because I disagree?
If I say don't eat meat because it's shit, yeah. If I don't supply something more than this.
Yeah, of course there are people like this, but is this generally acceptable in your opinion? To like single out a person that has one or more convictions that are different than yours and be like, I'm not even going to listen to that person.
Yeah, if his arguments
I disagree. I think that you cannot just say, oh, these people I'm going to ignore, because that's how you have problems. Like with, I don't know, terrorism and stuff. You ignore these people, say, fuck it, I'm not going to deal with that. And then they come back door and they kill your children. You need to communicate with everyone.
If that's the case, maybe. But if it will...
You created a
If
monster.
it will waste my time for nothing, why would I do it? If it will kill my cow, sure, I will maybe try to fix it.
I want to include you in the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Anyway, Georgios, have we missed something? What's upcoming for you? What new things should we accept from your career and your life and you as a person?
Yeah, well, I have a new album coming up on February. And it's we're feeling very confident actually about it.
Are you serious right now?
No. And
and by we do you mean who?
Okay, but do you play some instruments or something?
Well, I'm not gonna make the cheesy joke, right? I'll play with myself and everybody laugh, right? I'm not gonna make it.
That's cheesy.
Well, that's cheesy, like literally cheesy, but yeah.
Almost went there.
But no, I actually used to play the piano when I was really young. Really young though. But yeah. No, I'm actually participating in a new...
You didn't say which February. Can February?
Sorry?
50 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fine. We can hold the one until February.
Yeah. February is the time, you know?
February is the time.
And who knows, maybe 2019 will bring me on 5 different places than 4 that last year did. So you never know. Stay tuned.
Places, you mean places where you live?
Places that I lived in Malta, you know. Nice. You never know, man. You never know. Life is full of possibilities.
Yes.
Maybe I will bring people from different countries of the world to join Malta and then get the fuck out. You never know.
Man, some deep thoughts were exchanged in the program. Stefcho, I feel like you're urging to disagree with us on something. I don't know what it is, but you want to say something. You want some words are want to coming up out of you. So
no, I was just trying to
please ruin this.
To understand what you just said.
About what?
But I think I'll just let it go.
Yeah,
I think there are more important things in life than trying to understand what other people try to say.
Definitely.
Every time he attacks me like this, you see, I was joking about it, but when I gave it to him, he found a way to attack me.
Bring the salt.
He found a way.
Bring the salt. And
he starts beating things up, and he was beat up. Obviously,
I will die soon, so let's just...
Somehow you've been
don't
hurt.
Don't leave hatred in your heart, you know. Just be happy that you have people around you.
People around you, man. Look at me. I haven't been in the shot the whole way. Look, now it's much better.
No, I think that's better. Actually, you can put it here, somewhere here.
Anyway, kids, listen up.
Maybe I should make it.
I think we've done a great job here, and by we I mean you, and I was here too.
All of us were here.
Yeah. Let's say this.
Who were they?
All of who?
None of that would happen without the support of Chisk.
Cheers is an awesome beer.
Cheers is an awesome beer. Everyone knows that Chisk should be in the middle of the picture no matter what. You shouldn't put other people but Chisk.
You can maybe cut it and put the mic inside.
Anyway, I'm just
and
kidding.
Demonetized.
Oh my god,
all the money
revenue.
All the revenue, man.
Damn it, it took me so long to come up with that.
It's the apocalypse.
You promised me 0% of the income.
No, 1% of the income.
We promised you 90% of the zero income. That's what.
Yeah, okay. Well, 90% of the zero, I think, still sums up to zero, unless you're doing some weird sort of
magic.
Rounding.
Quantum mechanics.
Because
if they get entangled, you see, if the 90s get entangled with the zero, and they can disentangle at any time, it can reverse.
Or maybe you work in a reverse numerical system, so zero for you is infinite.
Yeah.
Even though infinite is not really zero, it's not the opposite. So Yeah, 0 will
No,
always...
infinite
Oh
is
man,
really
you're
2
fucked
zeros.
actually. Because
Infinity
it's like
is 2
infinite and
zeros.
minus infinity. So if you reverse it, 0 still stays the same. Man, 0 is fucked.
0 is immortal.
Yeah, it's still the same no matter what you do.
Some really cool stuff.
Food for thought. Let us know in your comments.
It's just numbers. It depends on the context. You can't say infinite tables.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can
What's the
define...
opposite order?
Yeah, yeah.
Minus
And then, of
infinite.
course, is the Marvel Infinity.
Infinity Wars.
Infinity Wars by
Yeah,
Marvel.
It's
yeah.
the worst infinite.
Remember the Infinity Wars
It's so
movies?
bad.
The 3 of them?
No, what are you talking about? It was really nice.
It was really nice, man. There was a blue, yellowish man
Oh, whoa,
called Thanos.
whoa.
What's up?
Can
Wrinkles?
you
Do have
imagine?
something against
Okay,
wrinkles?
wait. If you were Thanos and you could do anything, is this what would you do to fix humanity?
No, I would erase the whole population.
Yes.
I would,
Yes.
No, listen.
That makes more
I would
sense.
kill 50%, but only the 50% guys. So it's only women.
So what next?
So it's just a lot of sexual assault.
But
For
you
me.
know, there's no equality in the world. I mean, that's where we're heading now. I mean, I think at some point, PC. Oh man, can you imagine? It's a point in which political correctness reaches to a point where they say we have to kill men in order to reach the 50-50
This shit
equilibrium.
that they're going for now has nothing to do with the real shit that's going.
Yeah, of
which
course,
is really,
come
it's all getting better and better, but this thing on the side that they want equality of outcome, it's something on the side. It won't affect
But you know,
anything.
there was a guy who mentioned something really nice. He said, it's not the equality of outcome you should go after, it's the quality of opportunity that you should go
that's
after.
Jordan
And
Peterson's
people
idea.
are going for this. It's
Yeah.
getting better and better. But this equality of outcome, guys, they will die in the next generation. They will be gone. So it doesn't matter. But the equality of opportunity will happen. It's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot be nihilist and say that
So
it doesn't
much
matter,
better
everybody
than
will die
100
at some
years
point.
ago, and it will be much better in 100 years from now.
Man,
But equality of outcome will never happen.
Bogi, you look like a truck driver, you know? It's like,
Driving this conversation into a tree, guys. Anyway. Speaking of which, oftentimes I wake up
me too.
and I think about my childhood living in a village and just fucking wild, just running around with my bare feet and just doing some damage to some plants and snails and stuff. Anyway, my point is,
I was doing that too.
yeah, and this is what happened in Bulgaria. Did you have a similar experience, Georgios, in Thessaloniki, which is not so far from Bulgaria, where you had maybe some
Stick.
relatives, older people like your mom's or dad's grandparents living in a village, and you had a village town, and then you moved into a city at some point, or no?
No, I was actually a city boy. And then
So
we
you
moved.
never climbed a tree?
No, actually, I never did.
You've
Well,
never
I
climbed
did when I was drunk, but it doesn't count.
Yeah, it counts a bit.
Kind of.
It's not the same though. It's not as when you were a kid.
It's not
climbing.
innocent, I'll tell you
It's
that.
like you feel like it's you're Mowgli fucking climbing around. Man, no, but Thessaloniki is a very old city, so it's not, it wasn't a generation ago where people moved into the city. Like they've been there for a long time. It's not like other places.
Thumbs up if you're from Thessaloniki. Which is nobody actually.
And
so,
thumbs down if you are not. If you're not.
If you're not, just that. If you're not, you can only thumbs down. But if you are,
Yes, but it's
get
good
thumbs
to
up.
also be very precise
I'm
in
going
that.
there soon. I have to
Really?
pay for my car, yeah. But
You
I really
bought
like it. I want to go more often there.
no man, Thessaloniki is the place
I
to
really
be,
like
man.
it, yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah. There are so many nice things to do. I mean, you can drink, that's it.
Because you sounded just like Jack Black. Jack Black, when you said, "Yes, so many nice things to do."
There's so many nice things to do, man. So many
It's
nice
not
things.
Jack Black, but
Yeah, it's not
it's
Jack
Jack
Black.
Black and Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
He was talking like this.
Apocalypto.
Some time ago. You really like this movie for some reason.
Nacho Libre, I fucking loved it.
Because he did the when he ate something and
Spitting
you,
thing. That was
that made the whole movie for you.
so good, man. He did it just once in the movie, but it was great. Do you remember that scene? So he was Nacho Libre.
remember
Have you
everything
you
else.
watched Nacho Libre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. And I mean,
So Nacho,
was okay.
you know what Nacho Libre for
Yeah.
the viewers out there.
Much
Nacho Libre was a comedy with Jack Black, I think 2006 or something, where he was this
wrestler.
no, he was first like he wasn't a nun. He was just like some helper in a monastery, some cook in a monastery,
yeah.
because he was an orphan and then grew up in the monastery and then just stayed there and became a cook for the kids in the orphanage. And then he starts being a wrestler to help the kids make some money for better food. And there was this scene in the beginning
Wait, you watched it 12 years ago.
many years ago, yeah.
And you remember all of this?
Oh, because I watched it like 100 times now.
The first time it was 12 years ago.
But so he cooks this stew for the kids, like from some fucking cabbage, some disgusting cabbage, and it's this green stew. And this kid, he just gives him, and then he finds a bag of chips. Some outside of a store, like someone threw a bag of chips, and he just sprinkles some chips on top of the stew, and that's the meal for the kids. And so he gives this fucking thing in front of a kid.
Some kid was like, I don't want to eat this.
And it starts crying. The kid is crying, and he goes along and it's like, what? Why are you crying, Tommy? What's wrong? Or whatever, I don't know. And the kid is crying. He goes, but it's delicious. And she puts it in his mouth and spits it out his nose.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's not that funny.
I love Jack Black.
And then
he has a YouTube channel.
And then he says,
gaming channel.
Yeah.
Starting it now.
And then he says, con permiso, and leave.
Jack Black is the shit, man.
But you remember Tenacious D? Yeah, of course you remember it. But have you watched it recently? Because I really thought it was funny then, but now it's...
well, I watched some videos of it.
Have you watched
of course, that's what I mean.
Apocalypto, yeah?
No, that's the new one.
Post-Apocalypto, yeah.
It's not a movie, it's
like a short film.
Frames.
Have you seen the movie, the real
Yeah, the movie,
Epic
the
of
first.
Destiny.
movie.
Yeah.
Man, are you kidding me? I've watched it. I know every
Yeah,
song.
but have you seen it in the last 5 years?
Well, maybe, but maybe not.
But you should.
Yeah?
It's very different.
What do you
still
mean? Cock
good,
push-ups
but
are not a thing anymore?
No, there are many things that I really loved and I thought it was the shit on. Oh my god, it's the best.
Yeah.
But I saw it maybe 3 years ago and
it's a kind of, you know...
But man, their songs, every
Kindergarten
song there
humor,
is
yeah,
just
some really nice
so
songs. Yeah, exactly.
nice. So it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
the songs are
they
fucking
still sing
shit.
them on karaoke.
man, like Master Exploder as well.
Oh yeah.
I do not need
A microphone.
my voice is fucking
Powerful.
that's as far as I can go.
Blew their mind.
Yeah, I did not mean.
To blow your mind. But that shit happens to me all the time.
Yeah, man, they're fucking awesome, man. It's like you start listening Kickapoo, for example, and you have to sing along. They're so catchy.
Actually, they have another album after that. It's some Phoenix that looks like
Rise of the Phoenix.
Yeah, Rise of the Phoenix.
Actually, of course, that's what
I
you
think
want
it's
your
better.
first tattoo to be, right? That Phoenix from that album.
Not that album. Not that. But the thing is, I think it's better than the first one. It has some really legit nice songs, not just in context to the movie. But just by songs by themselves.
Let's be honest. I mean, Tenacious D is one of the very few bands past 90s that make songs that the best song. You know, like you listen to it and immediately, man, you just get hooked up. And
What
it's
about Steel Panther? Well, you know these guys, right?
Steel Panther?
Listen, Steel Panther is not a band that you listen to seriously.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, man, it's good music. It's just like Tenacious D.
Yeah, it is.
They're fucking legit musicians.
Well,
The guitarist,
besides the
not
fact
just
that
the guitarist,
their
the
coke
singer,
is community property.
No, check this. Have you ever watched a live show or like a video of a live show where you hear this Michael guy
I've seen them twice.
cover something famous, like do a Bon Jovi song or something, and sing it better than Bon Jovi now?
Yeah.
Like
It does a lot of Van Halen also.
Van Halen.
They're extremely talented. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of these bands that
No, but really the songwriting is
And
really
you've been
solid.
to their concert once or twice.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
Yeah. They're
No,
great
but really
to
good.
watch
Even
live,
if you
because
ignore the
comedies.
lyrics, the song are catchy and they have everything. Like nice riff solos.
Well, I don't disagree.
They sound
I
great.
like Steel Panther because of the fact that they don't give a fuck. You know, it's like Rammstein English version, like glam version of Rammstein. You know,
Maybe, yeah.
because Rammstein they do have this
you were a big fan of
lyrical
Rammstein,
thing.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Man, I
I
fucking
was the
love
best.
Rammstein.
I was a little bit, not
I
too much.
still know their songs.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know German, but I know their songs.
I learned
I
German
had a little
because of
bit like
Rammstein.
anti-Rammstein because I'm Polish. So like I was a little bit. What do you say?
It has nothing to do with this. They're really not that.
I don't know for sure. But I was a kid. I didn't know better. You know. Anyway.
Man, I really
Oh
like
man,
Rammstein.
because I missed the music topic and I didn't even say anything like from my experience.
Well,
But I can maybe talk about something that maybe you and I are more kind of on the same topic with. It must have changed your music taste and what you're listening to the moment you started playing the guitar.
Oh yeah, it did.
It must have added a whole nother kind
Yeah,
of
it did.
volume of books and
To change it.
How come?
The whole 90%.
because you
of
start
everything.
looking for stuff that you can play and vice versa.
Yeah.
It starts playing the stuff that you
Oh,
like and then
you-
you look for you
You
start
kind of hear it differently. It's not
yeah,
about just.
and you start noticing things like not just the music overall, but how this guitarist does this part, and then
Yeah.
you go, "Oh, wow, I want to listen more to this guy.
If you were to put it other context, let's say which band you would like before you start playing guitar, and which band you would start appreciating more. Like to give a contrast.
In my case, it's one band, and afterwards it's 100.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Big time. Because my thing was, I started even earlier. Because I started playing the flute when I was 9, right? A marvelous era of my life. But so before that, I didn't have much time. Like when you're 9, to consciously.
What? Get in the shot.
Oh yeah. When you're 9, you don't have that much fucking time to listen to all kinds of stuff, and don't have the money to buy records and stuff. And that was before the internet and stuff. I mean, there was internet, just not in my house yet.
yeah.
And the point is,
and to get music, someone had to record it on a CD and give
so I remember all those stupid shit before. Radio. Like I listened to Spice Girls and all kinds of stuff, and then recording like cassettes from other girls and stuff. Yeah. But I also listened to
Blue.
Yeah.
What do you mean? IFL 65.
Or I listened to Offspring. You remember?
Yeah, we talked about Offspring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, I had some stuff before, but not much. And then when I got 9, I started listening, just like with the guitar, but started listening to classical music because I was playing classical music. So it was just classical music and jazz for many years. I mean, mostly classical music. And then when I picked up the guitar when I was 15, then like you're saying, like 100 new possibilities came. I started listening.
Which is weird because at the beginning you're not that good anyway. But it's still somehow.
But you notice what's good already, and you kind of gravitate towards that. Yeah. So it might be a worse band, but a better guitarist, and that will fucking attract you more than But
usually when there's a good guitarist, it means that the band is good as well. Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at, I don't know, like Dire Straits, like Malmsteen, I don't know, this type of, this magnitude of
Dire
players,
Straits
Joe Satriani, for example. Man, how can you not play?
Because usually the best guitarists, they're soloing, they're by themselves. And I'm really not that much into that part of rock.
You know, like solo artists in terms of guitar.
I like somebody that's
like
very
the solo part. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, for example,
like
Joe's
excessive solos.
He just shows a lot of skills. Yeah. But I can't really relate to it. It's like Dream Theater, like John Petrucci.
But Dream Theater is
he's
like
also like some virtuoso. But here, their songs, it's still like they're just showing off.
But yeah, exactly. Do you feel Dream Theater acting as a band or as 5 individual players who just show who is the best in the
metal
band?
Jazz, but improvised.
I mean, Change of Season is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
no, they have nice songs, but still.
Yeah, but it feels like a separate track.
It's about the guy. It's more about the.
Yeah.
I think even let's take Nirvana. This guy sucks at guitar. It's terrible, but it's great music.
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely you can go either way. But I mean, but for me it was so, and also the other thing is like the trajectory, like how is it moving, and you have a couple of, I mean, how do you extend the library once you hit that level when you like introduce a musical instrument, and it goes a couple of ways. So for example, you listen to one song, you're like, oh, this is great, I want to listen to the whole record. Then you listen to the whole what is the word? Not cinematography, but discography of the band. Then you jump onto similar bands, so it could be on the same horizontal line of time. Yeah. But then it could be also like you discovered the old grunge era or whatever.
The origins of it.
But it could be the origins too. So who influenced these guys? Oh, they're covering this guy, so I'm listening to this guy, and then go down and down. And at some point you cut it, right? Either here somewhere or here somewhere. And
I don't think it's
at some point.
At least for me.
I mean, because at some point it becomes too far and irrelevant, and like it's more of a studying it rather than liking.
Yeah.
So the stuff that you like is going to be closer to that core, that person that first lit you up to that. So for me, it was like I started Stevie Ray Vaughan, then went back a little bit, one generation lower to Jimi Hendrix, went a little bit further down, but it didn't really attract me, B.B. King and that stuff before. Yeah. So I stayed with Jimi Hendrix a lot for a long time, and then from that came John Mayer, and from that a lot of other guys. I don't know, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. There was this guy. There was a lot of guitar, like blues guitar. So for me, it's blues rock kind of stuff. Yeah. And I don't go too far away from it.
You still kind of stay in the same. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about you, because you still kind of stay in the same like rocky rock. You know, damn this music. But you've never really appreciated some music that makes you. You know, because music is emotion, right? I would say your type of music is more like a happy, good feel emotion, but there is also this dark and disturbing part of music. Yes. And you've really never really gotten into any of it.
And you're saying it's because I'm a very shallow
person. It's already anger in the... No, I mean, it's just interesting. No, a lot of people don't get it.
What would be examples, for example, for you?
I mean, for example, let's say Meshuggah. It's, I don't know if you know Meshuggah.
He's saying like blues is sad, but Meshuggah is like
sad.
Angry, mad.
But you go on the darker side.
It's more like psychotic. So it's not just dark, it's kind of mental in a way.
So you're trying to guess if why I'm not listening to this part because I'm mental myself.
No, it's like you never really cared about going into this aspect.
You never really
which is
felt
fine, I guess.
I mean, it's not like I haven't.
Maybe you don't need it.
It's not like I don't know it exists. Like it's like you come close to something. It's like no, thanks. You know, and
have you had
there's always
this,
like this line that.
That's another thing. Have you had this thing where you're like, no, thanks. But then when you get in the right situation, in the
Even
right
John
mood,
Mayer was like this.
Really?
But unfortunately with John Mayer, it's prejudice mostly than anything. So I'm a big fan of John Mayer. This is why we talk about this. I'm a huge fan.
But he's very close to Jimi Hendrix, which you like.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So there was a lot of guys who were close because all of them in that area of blues, it's all just doing the same covers and the same styles and learning the same techniques all the way back to Jimi Hendrix. So there's a lot of kids like him. But what turned me off initially was like, oh, this kid is playing. Okay, a lot of kids play like this. But who is he? He's dating all these models, and he's like this popular guy, and he's like a celebrity and expensive watches and cars. And I'm like, you can be a blues guitarist and be fucking supermodels.
So you actually saw this, but you still make this argument for other things.
Can I ask something?
And he talks about this a lot, like this image, how he fucks him. Yeah.
So what about David Gilmour? What about Jimmy Page, for example? You know, like what is your take? Because I really think that these are the actual guys that influenced genres, that completely changed.
David Gilmour, I don't know much. I mean, I've listened to some of the Pink Floyd records. Stefcho will tell me more, but Jimmy Page, I don't know. Led Zeppelin was a huge era for me, and I was like super impressed. But I don't know about David Gilmour. It's more melodic, right? Or
no, it's more melancholic.
Nostalgic in a way. Yeah, melancholic, exactly. But this guy, man, the way that he plays, you can feel the passion.
Sound and the vibrato. I mean, he's known for his vibrato.
Yeah, of course.
No one can do this, apparently, the same. It's just a vibration, but still, it's about the tone also.
But it's the simple things that make a difference,
But it's also kind of different type of music, which you also, it's not about anger and but it's kind of exactly like
lost in
space. Nostalgic and melancholic.
But man, if you listen to
but it doesn't sound
before
the Roger Waters one.
Like if you hear Pigs, for example, there's
Pigs.
a lot of
if you hear.
But I mean, Roger Waters, no matter what, if he died or not, he still didn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't in the band then.
But
it's more of an anger to society and.
It's like this teenage angst, like fuck society, man. I'm gonna make my.
But it's still rock music. It's but it's not happy, good feel.
No, man, it's definitely not happy.
And it's really that's what I like a bit about Pink Floyd. They didn't fit any arrangement type. They're just playing jamming.
It's like Pink Floyd music. It's like, but what about the Grateful Dead? This is I never got into that.
Grateful Dead, man, nice.
But there were a whole like
I'm not sure about that.
A separate culture, man. They still are. I know about them now from the John Mayer connection. He plays for them, but now, I mean, their whole thing is like playing 3-4 hour concerts and people following them. Especially all the way back to the 70s, there were people living off following these guys along like their route, and they would camp in front of the place.
They created a cult, pretty much.
And it was, of course, a lot of LSD and acid and all kinds of drugs.
Allegedly.
And it was like 4-hour concerts at 15-minute songs. Everything was extended. They keep doing that.
Yeah, it was
even
crazy.
now. Nice. And there's all these musicians who went through this band and they kind of influenced it and added onto it. It's mostly, but from the guitarist is this guy Jerry Garcia, and now it's John Mayer. And it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
What about, for example, like I'm more into the little bit psychedelic side of rock, right? Like for example, John Garcia, like from Caius, if you know this guy.
I know Caius.
Caius, like these guys play like crazy, and they play the best when they're stoned out of the plane of this existence.
Stoner, right?
But listen, like jokes aside, or for example, there is this band Om. I don't know if you know. Like I'm bringing this a little bit more towards the 90s. Yeah, Om.
How is it spelled?
OM. That's it. Not like Resistance. It's like Om, like the spiritual Om. So these guys, they're very famous for their sludge sound. They're one of the pioneers of sludge metal, and they have like this religious theme attached to them, but very like chanting one.
Cultish.
Yeah, like, and the leader of the band, he's playing the bass. His name is Al Cisneros, I think, or Cineros, one of these two. Anyway, and this guy, like, if you listen to the way that he composes music, you can really feel like a gem behind it, because he knows how to compose a piece of art.
That's when it's most real, when it expresses something you want to say, not something.
Yeah, exactly, and it's so nice to see this now.
Where's the verse? Where's the chorus?
It's like, okay, give me the track, I will record it individually, and then we will publish the track, and then enjoy your money.
That's when it's most real.
This is what I really miss from music nowadays, because we're talking all about these artists.
It still has it. I think it has always been on the underground. Like
Yeah.
even Pink Floyd, they became mainstream eventually, but they played this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a bit weird about Pink Floyd. Why did they go mainstream actually? Because it's different and it's still no one has managed. Actually, whoever copies them now,
Mm-hmm.
that may
All them witches.
Let's say like Steve Wilson or Cripple Black Phoenix or the other band that I know that you can really see that they came from Pink Floyd. They're not that big, but I think they make great music now. I think it could be some of their songs can be the next Pink Floyd that they could have written, but still no one cares that much.
Actually, you can check out All Them Witches. They are like one of the more famous bands, and they actually their sound. If you listen some of the tracks, it's like listening to Pink Floyd or.
But still, no one knows them.
Actually, they do. Now, actually, this year they headline headline All Them Witches, and they headline Desert Fest in London this year.
But it's still,
but it's a club in
Petrol. It's one thing to say 100,000 people know, but Pink Floyd is.
Yeah, we're not talking to Pink Floyd. Of course. Yeah,
everyone knows them. Everyone in the world. That's what I mean. It's still the same music, the same style, the same inspiration, the same original.
Have you actually heard of these guys? They're like extremely young, under 20 guys. They're called like Dita von Crete, something like that.
Greta von Fleet.
Greta von Fleet, yeah, exactly. Not copy. It's like
it's exact copy.
Man, it's fucking Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, exactly. They have their own songs, but they're a copy.
Their own songs.
The thing is that it's like B-sides from Led Zeppelin.
You
can't say they're a different band. They copy them so well. I don't get it.
But the voice, man, the voice is so much similar. Crazy.
The same.
It's pretty much Robert Plant. It's the same voice.
Yeah, there are a lot of discussions on I don't know if you follow like the needle drop, for example, on YouTube. I don't know, a lot of people talk about them, but it's.
But there are all kinds of discussions. There's, for example, Mark Hamill and this guy who plays Bucky in the Captain America.
Bucky.
What was the guy name?
I don't know. What about them?
The name of the guy.
But what about them?
They look like clones of each other. Like they say that. Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan. They say that Sebastian Stan is the
Luke Skywalker and try to copy him exactly. Right.
Anyway, I just wanted to join this conversation somehow. I was just looking for a desperate way in.
Please.
And you just criticize my
basically there is
door
this
that
band that copies completely Led
I
Zeppelin.
know. I was listening to you, unlike what you're doing now to me.
So what do you think about that? Like some band completely copies someone else. Would you listen to them?
I wouldn't.
Knowing
I'm always thinking about what would I do, because I've played a little, not a great musician, but you're associated with a musician in this case. So my association is, how would I go to sleep at night thinking everything that I've done amount to in my life is to copy someone else?
Yeah,
I prefer to be a shitty version, but an original one.
But still, they
a good copy.
They make
of
concerts.
Else.
They sell out. They sell albums.
I'm just saying, like for me, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Like knowing that I'm never. I mean, I'm supposed to be a creative person as a musician, and I never create.
But
I just recreate.
It's still not exactly a choice, because you still need some talent. You have to have this voice.
For sure.
You have to work for it.
Imitate. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But the question is that, do you want to make money out of it?
Okay, but it's still weird because it's art. It's a song. Who cares what it's like or who wrote it or why did he write it? It's still an entity, a song by itself.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, in the world that we live in,
matter, but for some reason it does.
Well, I think it matters more how much money you make out of it nowadays.
But why? It's a song it sounds.
Because you have to live somehow out of it.
Yeah, no, the listener. Because I listen to it and I think, oh my god, that's Led Zeppelin. I won't listen to it. I would rather play something by Led Zeppelin. But really, what if Led Zeppelin played that? Would it be different? I mean, just knowing that Led Zeppelin played it, would I like it more?
Maybe yes. Because
but it's
you
weird.
Would have this hipster.
Because it's the same song, it's the same waves.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you can close your eyes and imagine that this is Led Zeppelin. They'd be like, okay, I'm fine.
No, I can't, because I know they're not. But if I knew they are,
it's crooked.
Yeah, it's weird that ultimately you should separate the artist from the art. Like whatever, if he's
so you remain just an East.
Some drug addict. What?
You remain an East.
He's an East.
You separate the artist from art. So you remain East. Because you take art out, so it's like artist. So you're like East.
Oh, okay.
That
makes sense.
It takes time in this hour of the day.
In this hour of
to catch up with some of the thoughts.
So all of us are Easts.
It's just weird because I know I can't get over it. I can't get over the fact that I know something about the song that it's outside the song itself.
Yeah, definitely see what you mean.
It really bugs me, but it shouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to. Maybe
songs.
I don't want to encourage.
You're working on some new stuff. Why don't you share? Why don't you include us in the process of creating something?
Because I'm scared. Maybe subconsciously I wrote something that it's actually not mine. Maybe I will hear it in 1 year. What the fuck? I actually stole this thing. Yeah, actually it happens.
That subconsciously you steal something.
Yeah, because when I think it's really good, I'm worried because.
But you know.
I'm not sure if I wrote it actually or I just remember something from 10 years ago.
I think you would know if you stole it.
The thing is, I just want to write something that makes sense as a whole. So I can't have.
in the middle. Look at him. Look at this.
I'm not only in the middle. I'm only the only one.
Yeah.
Also.
You fucking schmuck. You ruined this podcast. You ruined it with your evil ways.
Well,
right, Georgios?
Next time I'll ruin it with my.
I agree.
I'll work on my.
Guys, let's fucking focus, guys. Chop.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up into 2 raps. First rap is this. What do you think about what's better, being a father of a daughter or being a father of a son? What would you prefer? 3 seconds, Georgios.
Why didn't you just ask if you prefer to have a daughter or a son?
That's exactly what I did. Now go ahead. 3 seconds.
I would say I do not classify my children as gender because I don't know how they will identify themselves in the future.
New age.
I don't identify my children as children because
I have an answer for this.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Of course, I want my gender because I want to make him be better than me.
You son of a bitch! That would be the unhealthiest baby ever, and the most sad baby. His whole life is the pressure of making up for his father's mistakes.
I know my mistakes. Yeah, and I can teach him not to do them. I know also my father's mistakes, so it's double. It's double.
Will be the saddest.
Listen, man, because I know my father's mistake.
Man, this is actually very legit explanation, man. This is very legit because you have more samples. You do know how to not make mistakes now.
Yeah.
It's like you play a game and you retry.
What's
you
your
know?
answer?
It's like you've died. Try
You're
again.
so smart.
Of course, I want a son because of what you said. But I wanted to make fun of it first to test if it will resist damage. And if it stands still as a theory, I will accept it myself and
Does
live
it
by
stand now when you ridiculed it?
No, listen. In my opinion, of course, what you're saying is good. You identify with a son, but that's vice versa, which means that if you had a daughter, your wife would have the same experience. She would teach the daughter everything.
Then
she knew.
that will be her answer.
Yeah. So anyway, so she might not have an answer for your son. Is what I'm saying. But then, okay, so I think there's another reason, and that's because after all, as we know, all conspiracies about the liberal are spreading. The fact that white males control the universe are true. Yes, in fact, we have a secret organization, all white males. It's called
We rule the world, baby.
WM. It's all white males.
Who runs the world? Man.
And so we want to make sure there's more of us. And we're racists.
Okay, so
we're men, as every man.
No,
is
that's not the reason.
Hey.
Be
careful what you're saying, baby.
That's not really a reason. Maybe you hope. The thing is, you hope for this, but still, it's not something you have any control
Steph just
over.
snap out of it. It was a joke. Why do you take it seriously? He thinks it was the real world.
But that's the thing.
Okay, what's the real thing then? To making jokes. Be real for once.
The real thing. Well, it's a difficult question. I think I would love them equally, and I want to have either one healthy. But
okay, what about you have 2 of them and they're different?
what about if it's a daughter? Then you think, as a father, I can protect her. So I'd rather have a daughter because a son can do stupid things.
But will it be a better person because of you?
I don't know.
Because anyone can protect.
Will the son be more of a better person than a daughter?
Because of you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because you
But
can
how
teach
can
him.
you be sure about that?
But then it's 50-50 in the marriage. It's also the wife. Imagine.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you trust your wife? What if your wife is some idiot?
Well, the joke's on you, baby. You married her.
No, but yeah,
Use protection next time.
That's perfect, man. Imagine you marry an idiot just on purpose. Like, hey, bitch, I'm just gonna have a son with you, just so you know.
Better give me a son.
It's gonna be 100%.
It's gonna be the 100% person, but then the 100% from you is actually 50%, and the rest is from the mother. You schmuck. The 100% that you put is up to the 50%, and then the mother adds.
That's gene wise, but not life
No,
wise.
life wise too.
No,
You
life
can't
wise.
like one person. Imagine you had one teacher instead of 2. Like the kid with 2 teachers would be twice as smart.
You know, but still, you can still add more to the whole thing, right?
Yeah, but you cannot say that.
You say the percentage of the male would be bigger.
No,
than the
the
male.
percentage. How much can you teach your daughter versus how much can you teach your son?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you give birth, you can say to your wife, okay, you've done your part, now shut the fuck up and let me do the raising. You cannot really do that.
Well, if your wife's an idiot, like Stefcho explained this example, says then you bet you fucking go back to your cage. Your fucking job is done here.
Please
let's daddy take over.
The thing is, what if you get, you want just one child or what?
No, I want 4 to be exact.
4. Okay, so
Yeah.
what would those 4 be?
No, I haven't thought. This was an answer I was always given when I was 6 years old. I thought by 26 I'll be married, and then I'll have I'll have 4 kids.
Well, you're a bit behind.
Yeah, I know, but not kid-wise. Yay! No, I'm kidding. But
Guys, let's have a photo for social media, okay?
let's do it.
Well, maybe outside the.
Hey,
Oh, maybe without that part here.
Hey, baby, let's go.
Where's the camera?
It's there.
Okay, I nailed it.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
That was very accurate.
Oh no! What the fuck? You showed it afterwards. I was looking at it at some point. Oh, okay.
Okay, it was pretty accurate, yeah.
Why do I look so weird? So out of my
touch.
mind.
I'm out of space. Spades. I'm out of spades when they play cards.
So nice.
I'm out of spades. I just only got the other
It's
cards
the ace of
in my
spades.
face.
The ace of spades.
Yeah.
So
Guys, listen
the
up.
age of
This
Spain of AIDS. It's
The
the age
Spain
of AIDS.
is the ages of Spain.
It's the age of AIDS. It's the age of AIDS.
Yay, you said it, man. All right.
February.
Let's drink to that. And remember, that's not how you get AIDS, so don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Even if
I don't wanna
AIDS
drink
person.
Well, if
peed
anything,
in
this podcast gives you cancer for sure. I'm not sure about AIDS though.
Oh, that went better than the last one.
Yeah.
Which
No,
one?
it was
let's
great.
say we set the bar really low for them
Yeah.
from the previous one.
And guys, on this beautiful note, we'd like to wish you happy remainder of the year because
Yes.
you know every once in a while
They
you
still
need
have like 11 months. So
exactly. So
Yeah.
let's be happy on those 11 months, motherfuckers, and
see you next year.
see you next year
And
or
this year also.
also this year.
yeah.
and we love you, but please subscribe. Otherwise, we don't. Our love is reversible. We're flexible this way.
And
this
smash
is
that like
2019.
button. Smash that like button.
Smash the
it!
like.
Can we get
Smash the-
5,000 likes?
Smash the
5,000
combination
likes. No.
of comment.
Can we get 2 likes?
it's-
Can we get 2 likes?
Come on, man.
No,
if
we
you
can
give
get
me
5.
5 likes, I will do 5 push-ups
Have
for
2
the
accounts,
children in
so
Africa.
you have 2 from me.
Yeah, I have
One
2
from
from
you.
myself.
Don't say
So
this.
we need 1 actually. We just
Don't
need
say
1.
this. Don't say that.
Okay.
We need 1.
Don't tell them that trick.
5
Have a
completely
account that's
random
anonymous,
likes.
know
and
that
I have
you
to
can like
hate
your
on
own
people with
videos.
it. And my real one is my public image.
You cannot like your own videos.
It's impossible. The program doesn't
so
allow
that's a
it. The
different
program,
account.
the
Actually,
machine
you can
world
like
doesn't
your own
allow
videos.
it.
Please share, like, and subscribe.
If you're a lady, also please do that, please.
Stefcho is feeling the cringe.
Stefcho, how are you doing?
So bye.
All right, guys. This is how grown ass men have fun.
Yeah, that was the bonus ASMR scene.
This is how grown up people have fun in male societies. They put a mic in their friend's face the whole video, and then they talk about it. Anyway, at least you're in the center of nothing. You're in the divider between the 2 realms of Georgios and Bogi.
I'm always in the center, but it's actually irrelevant. That's my life.
It started going I'm always in the center, and then it's just irrelevant. It was a nice
the voice
quote,
of
interrupted.
consciousness.
Yeah,
So
that's my
guys,
life too.
thanks a lot. Subscribe and see you next time.
See you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Come on, man. It's